Here's the thing, right? You're most likely ultra privileged and you don't even realize it, which is insane. Because are you privileged? Do you think you're privileged? Do you know if you're privileged? Do you know if you're upper class? Most people say, hey, bro, I'm not upper class, okay? I am middle class. I'm middle class. If you're really lucky, they'll say, I'm upper middle class. But I had this thing in high school. We were in boarding house, right? And my roommates and I would be talking about this every now and then. And every single one of us said we are middle class. No one wants to admit that they aren't really middle class. And it's a bit weird. Because now that I've had this experience outside of high school, I realize, am I middle class? I treat people like I'm upper class. Here's what I mean, right? So these guys come to me on the side of the street, right? I'm walking there to my bus. Okay, bus doesn't seem like an upper class thing, but hey, I don't have a license, so I guess that makes sense. Whenever I walk there, there's usually people around me, okay? And quite often they actually come up to me and they try to start a conversation. They try to get my attention for whatever reason. Maybe they want to beg, maybe they want money, food, or to rob you, okay? And so before I got robbed, I would just let them do it because I thought, yeah, just people, why not just give them a chance? Haha. I gave this guy a chance and he took my phone and ran away. And I don't talk to these people anymore. I ignore them, act like they don't exist, which must be really hard on them. They're like the scum, they're like scum under my shoe. But at the end of the day, I don't trust them anymore. So I look back on that situation of me just ignoring them and I'm like, that's what an upper class person would do. That's what someone with money who thinks, hey, these people are not important to me would do. I'm thinking, am I upper class? And I look back at it and I'm like, my life is blessed. My life is utterly incredible. I go to university. I get fed as much as I want, have no worries about like small stuff like that, like food. Um, in fact, my problems are so insignificant in comparison to these people on the streets here that it's like I live an upper class life. I was given an education, like a proper education, and yet I'm still thinking, no, I'm middle class, guys. I'm like middle class, I'm not upper or lower. No, guys, I'm an upper class little guy. Okay, my lifestyle is incredible. That's heavily due to my parents spending money on me. But the fact of the matter is, I have the same opportunities as upper class people. And so I'm looking at these people on the side of the street and I'm thinking, okay, what are their problems like? If I'm upper class, I'm treating them like the dirt under my shoe. I'm dressing up well as well. I'm worrying about my face instead of what they're worrying about. What are they worrying about? They're worrying about how to feed themselves for the day. They're worrying about how to transport their children to school. They're worried about, okay, hey, I have to do this job I don't like, getting paid so little just so I can survive for the next year. That's what they're thinking. How am I going to do that? You know? And I'm like, I already have those sorted. So what's my equivalent? What's my equivalent to that? Let's say they were able to do all that now, all of a sudden. What would they do? What would the next thing be? What would be like a level up of that? And that just got me to think. My problems are petty, insignificant. They don't matter. They don't matter at all. Why should I care if a girl likes me or not? Why should I care if my face cream is working for my pimples, right? It doesn't matter. Why should I care how people look at me? And I have to wear a new outfit every day because that's just, I need to be like that. No. My problems don't mean anything. And if I was to take those guys' problems and level them up to my standard, to like my ability, with the opportunities I have in comparison, I'll be changing the world. That's my level right now. That's what privilege gets you. Okay, you think privilege is about being, I don't know, more well off. It is. But it comes with a big responsibility to change the world in some way, to actually use your privilege. And we haven't been using it. We've been pretending that we are middle class citizens. We've been pretending that it's okay. We can just do what we do, right? And it's fine. Because we're middle class, can't really change much. You can change a lot. You've been given the opportunity. You can become upper class, just like this. Like if you're my age, you're going to university. If you're younger than me, I'm 19, okay, I'm going to university. You can just one shot, one generation, become an upper class citizen. But you think you're not. You think you're not living that lifestyle. You think you don't have the opportunities. You have the opportunities. And for so long, going back to that story I told you at the beginning about my roommates and I, we all said, we're middle class. I tried to convince this guy he was upper middle class. No. We're all upper class. But the problem is, we tell ourselves that we're not. We bring modesty to our privilege. And when we do that, it doesn't even matter. When we're modest about it, we can't even use it. We get insecure about it. We're like, I'm not privileged, guys. Come on. You want to fit in, huh? People who fit in don't change the world, do they? Use your opportunities. I should have started with this, but I guess I'll end with it. The stats here in my country, South Africa, 30% of people are unemployed. 30% of people are middle income. 20% of those 30%, like 20% of people are stable income. So they have a stable family. And 4% are upper class, upper income, which is weird. But then looking at that, 20% or 24% here are stable. I'm stable. I have a stable family. I have all this. Going to school, most of the time you're a stable guy. You've got a stable family. You've got a stable life. Got food on the table every day. Don't have to worry. And then you think, okay, you said 30% are unemployed, 30% are middle class, and 4% are upper. What about that in between? So if we say in between, like less than middle class, that's 66% of people in my country are lower class. They're impoverished. They're underprivileged. And I have the audacity to say, I'm middle class, bro. Yeah. No. I have a responsibility to lift that number, or to put the number to the ground. I don't want these people to be impoverished. 30% unemployment is insane. It's... I'm a student. I'm unemployed technically, but like, I won't be for long. But 30%. 1 in 3 people I see on the street don't have a job. We're like, wow, imagine that, bro. 2 in 3 don't have enough, like, they're worried about the food on the table. That's the true middle class. The ones who worry about the food on the table. Worry about how to get their kids to school every day. Can barely afford 6,000 Rand a month for schooling. Which I don't know how much that is. It's like $800 a month. And it puts you in this bubble because, bro, I've been to school and the people who go to school are also rich. And we all think, oh, we're not rich. When in reality, we are rich enough to go to school. We don't see the other people because we're in this bubble of school. It's just school. And the friends at school. What a depressing... Like, I don't see that. My bubble burst the day I got robbed. I'm so happy for that. And once my bubble burst, I was able to walk around. And I walked around and I saw this. I'm a privileged guy. Oh my gosh. Yesterday, I sat down and I studied calculus for 7 hours. And it didn't feel like work. It just felt like, that's what I do. because I'm a privileged guy and I take my opportunities in life. Okay? This is the one thing I was missing. I always felt like that would be work. It's not that bad. I'm gonna get a good paying job, at the very least, and at the most, I'm going to change the world. That's not even the most. I'm obviously gonna change the world. You have a responsibility to take the opportunities that are in front of you. As someone who is middle class, as a young person with middle class parents, even upper class parents, you have so much opportunity. The same opportunities as the upper class. You can study stuff online, life skills. The upper class literally, like those rich businessmen, literally post content onto online, bro. You just gotta start. You just gotta do it, bro. You just gotta take the opportunity, learn from it. That's your responsibility. You're responsible for your circumstances. It might not be your fault. You can put the blame on other people, but you're responsible. And this is the one way to just take that responsibility. Become the person you're meant to be. And yeah, that's it. Wherever you go, there's an opportunity. You walk on the street, there's an opportunity. There's a guy to talk to who seems interesting. You know what you need to improve. Take it. And before I go, I'll tell you one more story. At my university, there were these monks. I'm like, oh, why are they monks at the university? Okay, it was like a little stall, and these monks were there for you to ask questions to them. It said, ask a monk, right, on the stall. And I was watching that stall a little bit. No one went there. The whole time. No one asked these monks, like real life monks from I don't know where. They were wearing the robes, they had bald heads. They were just sitting around. Eventually they started singing, like they were playing some instrument. They were singing, and then they started meditating because no one was coming up. And that's just like, wow, it's real life monks here. We don't come up. I didn't even go up to them. I didn't take that opportunity. You don't even notice that it's there. So become the type of person who takes opportunities in his life, right? Next time you see a monk wanting to advise you, go up to him, ask him questions. There's not enough people that do that. You will stand out. You'll be different just because you take opportunities. You take responsibility for the opportunities you have and for your circumstance as being a privileged guy, bro. Don't be modest about your privilege. Say it out there. I'm privileged and I'll make the world better because of it. Other people without privilege, very difficult. You, a lot easier. Go ahead. And with that, I'm out, bro. Thanks. Thanks.